What's good? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. Topic for today is how to reprogram your subconscious mind so you can naturally attract beautiful women. If you want to reprogram your subconscious mind, I recommend that you start modeling men who are good at creating sexual attraction with women. Because what you want to do is start identifying ways of behaving that will lead to sexual attraction with women. You need to observe what this looks like. And you need to really immerse yourself in this. And I'm literally just telling you what I did, right? When I got to the point where I was like, yo, I'm sick and tired of not getting the women I want or not getting a girlfriend or all not getting the sex life I want. So I started, paying attention to guys who were getting the results they wanted in their dating life. I started to study these men, hang out with them, watch videos, on YouTube. You have a bunch of videos of guys approaching women and stuff like that. You can watch on videos. You can see the good thing about it is you can see what they're doing right, and you can also see what they're doing wrong, right? You can read books. You can find guys who know what they're talking about and read books, and they'll tell you, some of the things that they're doing that makes them attractive to women. You really want to focus on the sub communications because that's really what is triggering the attraction in women. So pay attention to their eye contact. You will notice guys who do well with women, they have very strong eye contact. They're not like afraid to look at the woman in her eyes. They're not looking around the place. Or also you'll notice in their eye contact, they're not bug-eyed or like looking at the woman like she's the greatest thing in the world. They're just looking at her like, okay, this is a girl, this is a human being, and let's see what she's got in store. Obviously she's beautiful, but let's see what else is there. That's the look in their eye. Their tonality, typically, they sound strong, they sound confident, they sound certain. You may even hear like some playfulness in their tonality. There's different styles of attractive expression, right? So some guys you may notice, like for example me, you notice that I have a very relaxed and slow and low tonality, whereas before, my voice was always low, but it was more, there wasn't a sexuality in it. There wasn't a relaxation and a realization of the quality of my voice. I didn't realize that having a low voice was actually something I could use to my advantage. I used to think, actually, girls used to make fun of my voice, believe it or not. They used to be like, oh, you talk like this. They'd make fun of my voice because I wasn't confident in my voice, right? So I was projecting a lack of confidence and a lack of security. So that's how they saw my voice. They saw it as like, oh, why you talk so low? Or another thing is it was very monotone, right? You want to have inflections in your voice, like you want to have like ups and downs and expressions of emotion and stuff. You don't want it to be the same. Hello, my name is Trey and I just want to talk to you about this topic. Like, notice there's like a rhythm to my voice, and it's not just one flat line expression of my tonality. Pay attention to body language. You'll notice attractive men tend to have a certain type of body language. It's very, once again, relaxed, comfortable. There's certainty in their body language. There's you can just tell, like, they believe in themselves, they love themselves, or there's just like a certain self-confidence there, right? They're not seeking validation, right? They're not react their body language is not reactive, it's proactive. Slow gestures. You'll notice that they'll kino, meaning they'll touch the woman, but they'll touch her a certain way, right? Like there's a way to touch her like a nice guy, like a friend zone guy, and then there's a way to touch her like a sexually dominant or a sexually confident man. So you want to pay attention to the sub communication. Notice I'm not saying listen to what he's saying, or you know, notice which pickup line he's using. Like none of that stuff is as important as the sub communication. So another thing you can do is if you have access to guys who are good with women, like go out with them, like watch how they interact with women, like just go out and don't even worry about picking up any women, just observe, and watch the guys who are doing well with women and watch the guys who are not doing well, and you'll see the contrast. Also, you can watch infield videos online, find guys that seem to be doing good with women and watch their videos. There's a lot of those videos on YouTube. That's what I used to do. I would also find movie characters that seem to be very seductive, and women respond to them well. I'd watch movies, TV shows, interviews. Guys who inspire me, who I saw traits in them, like, yeah, I wish I had that trait. I wish I was more confident in that way, or I wish I had that body language, or I wish I had that charisma. Whatever. You watch these videos and you study and you start kind of visualizing or envisioning yourself having those qualities. Imagine you were this guy or the yeah. So imagine that you were those guys, that are good with women. Imagine you are in their shoes. Like imagine being those guys. Like I literally would do this. I would go out. Um, I didn't know the importance of or the how powerful imagination, like visualizing, was. So I was more of a just go out and take action kind of guy. But if I had to do this again, if I was starting back, if I had to go back in time where I was struggling with women and I had to go from struggling with women to being successful with women, I would have leveraged visualization, as well as taking action. So you want to visualize yourself as this attractive guy. For example, let's just say we're gonna use James Bond, for example, right? The way how James Bond carries himself in the movies. Obviously it's a movie, it's kind of exaggerated, but there are some things you'll notice in James Bond that you'll notice in other guys who tend to do well with women. A lot of it's subcommunication. But let's just say, for example, the way he walks, right? James Bond walks with confidence, and he's smooth and relaxed, and he looks like he he walks like somebody. He doesn't walk like he has no value. He walks like he has some value. So, for example, even the way you walk, like that was something I would practice. Like the way how I walk now is self-created to be more attractive than if I didn't, consciously pay attention to that and do something about it. So I would practice my walk. I would practice walking like a sexy, confident, grounded man. And what I'm telling you is not only practice it, but visualize it too. Visualize yourself in a party or at the club or in the bar or at the mall, walking like a sexy beast. Walking like a grounded, masculine man, walking like an alpha, whatever, whatever word resonates with you, and then go and do it. And get into when you're modeling these guys, don't just think about what they're doing, think about the feeling. The feeling is important, because the feeling comes across too. It's like the feeling is like the energy behind the action, right? So for example, if you try to walk sexy but you don't feel sexy, it's gonna just look weird. But if you're walking sexy and you're feeling sexy, it's gonna look more congruent. It's gonna look more natural. So it's not just a feeling. I mean, it's not just the act. It's the feeling. It's the thoughts and the behavior. You have to create this alignment. That's when it starts to really come across effectively. Is when there's this congruency between the way you feel, the way you're thinking, and the way you're behaving. So you want to watch and learn. You know, if you can do it in person, you have attractive men you can hang out with in person. That's great. And then you want to practice it. You know, so watch and learn, or you know, if it's videos or whatever you have access to, be resourceful. Whatever you can do, and then practice it. It's the combination of watching, learning, you know, understanding, and then practicing it. You know, you have to do all of this. And yeah, you want to visualize, use your imagination, and go out and do it in real life. The act of studying, visualizing, and applying what you learned will reprogram your subconscious mind, and eventually it will become natural and effortless. So just so you understand, when I say subconscious mind, I mean that's the part of your mind that's doing things automatically. You know, your conscious mind is 5%, your subconscious mind is 95%. So the reason you're struggling with women is because consciously you probably want to get women and you'd love to have them and all this stuff, and you wish you could approach the girl and be sexy and all this stuff, but your subconscious mind is programmed to think, feel, and behave in ways that aren't very attractive. So what we need to do is, by becoming conscious of you know, attractive ways of being, now you can start, but by doing it consistently, it will start programming into your subconscious mind, and over time it will become natural and effortless, right? So what the things that are programmed in your subconscious mind are the things that you are doing automatically. So we want to program these attractive ways of thinking, feeling, and behaving into our subconscious mind so that we do it automatically. And what happens here is you're basically changing your self image or your identity, the way you see yourself, right? When you start watching these guys and start practicing it, you'll start to become it, right? And start to believe that's who you are. It will no longer be this thing that you're practicing, it will be who you are. So, yeah, if you do this on a daily basis, like literally every day, you block some time out to study these men and apply what you learned, you can make rapid improvement, right? You can change, like make some huge changes just by doing this, just by modeling, right? But I'll give you a tip. You know, one of the things I did when I was working on myself and trying to become more attractive to women is as I got infield coaching, right? I went and found someone who I believed had the attractive qualities that I wanted to develop in myself. There's different ways of expressing your sexuality. Like, you know, in a previous video I talked about being a sexy beast. There's different ways to express your sexy beast, right? There's, like, if you notice, there's men who are getting women, but they're not all the same, right? They like have different body language. They have different sub communication. You will see some similarities. Like, you'll probably notice they all are pretty relaxed around women. They all are pretty confident, you know, assertive, right? They, you know, they have certain things. They're probably grounded, right? You'll see certain things, but there may be like little details that are a little different. Like, one guy might be a little more playful, the other guy might be a little more serious, one guy might be a little more dominant, you know what I mean? So, but what I did was I found somebody who was expressing his sexuality in a way that I was resonating with, right? So he was getting women in a way that I wanted to get women, right? He was behaving, thinking, and feeling a certain way that I thought was cool. So I invested in infield coaching with him, and I got to see it in person, right? So it's one thing to kind of visualize it or see it in a video or whatever, but to actually be around it in person will really hardwire it and program it into your subconscious mind, because you're getting the full experience. You're going to feel it too. You're going to see the energy behind it. You're going to see the subtleties. It's going to be right in front of your face, you know, so there's no confusion about it, you know. So that is one way to speed it up, is to get some form of in-field coaching with someone who has the attractive qualities that you're working on developing within yourself. So that is my advice on how to reprogram your subconscious mind and naturally attract beautiful women. If you want a full step-by-step formula system that you can follow, you know, and you want accountability and supports, right, instead of doing this on your own, what you can do is either send me a message. So let me know, hey Trey, I just watched your video on how to reprogram your subconscious mind and I'd like some help with this. And then we can move forward on that. Or you can just drop a comment below this video, just say natural, and I'll reach out to you and give you some steps you can take to move forward and begin reprogramming your subconscious mind. And we could potentially work together on this, which would definitely speed up the process because I already went through this, you know. That's why I'm sharing this with you, because, you know, I know the steps. These are the things that I did to go from being, you know, a 24-year-old virgin to dating multiple women and going on multiple dates per week and you know, getting laid, you know, multiple times per week, even turning down sex. You know, it's a huge transition that I made, and it didn't happen naturally. It was a conscious effort. I made it happen, so you can make it happen. So you just have to know what to do. So yeah, either reach out to me or drop a comment below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.